Syekh Siti Jenar, famous for his teachings, Aninggaling Kalabasti, sparked controversy among the Wali Song. Many claim that it was Sunan Kudus who ended his life. Several manuscripts mention a different figure. What truly occurred at the Sirban Mosque on the day of the execution? Legends surrounding the role of the Holy Sunan in Syekh Siti Jenar's companions opens the door to a great secret that remains shrouded in the mists of history to this day. Then, how did Sunan Kudus and the other Wali determine the fate of Syekh Siti Jenar? Don't miss out on exploring the unique facts and mysteries surrounding this great figure. Watch until the end and find out who actually executed Syekh Siti Jenar. Jagfar Shatak, better known as Sunan Kudus, was one of the main figures in the spread of Islam on the island of Java, especially in the Kudus region of central Java. He was the son of Raden Utsman Haji, also known as Sunan Mudding from Jepang Panolan, located north of Blora city, and Siarfa Dwi Rahil, daughter of Sunan Bonang. Baba Tana Jawa recounts that Raden Utsman Haji, father of Sunan Kudus, was once the leader of the Majapahit army. Serving as Senopati Demak, Sunan Gudung faced Raden Husain or Adipati, sprung from Majapahit in a battle that ended with the death of Sunan Gudung. The position of commander of Demak was then inherited by Sunan Kudus. Sunan Kudus' mother was a descendant of Sunan Bonang, making him the grandson of Sunan Bonang and directly related to Husain bin Ali, grandson of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Interestingly, there are various versions regarding the origins of Sunan Kudus. Some sources refer to him as the grandson of Sunan Ampel, descendant of Persia, or even a native Javanese descendant. Even so, the most widely accepted version is that Sunan Kudus was the grandson of Sunan Bonang. As a propagator of Islam, Sunan Kudus was known for his wise and flexible approach to preaching. He was able to attract non-Muslim communities through a cultural approach. As a result, Islam became known and accepted peacefully by the community without coercion. Cultural approach taken by Sunan Kudus had its own appeal. For example, Sunan Kudus implemented a ban on slaughtering cows as a form of respect for Hindus. Consider cows to be sacred animals. In addition, he built a temple-style mosque tower, not as a place of ancestor worship, but to broadcast the call to prayer. Sunan Kudus also created a padasan, or place for wudu with 8 fountains, which symbolize the eightfold path in Buddhist teachings. Above the fountains, he added a statue of the head of Kebagu Merang as a form of respect for local beliefs. The Matoni celebration tradition. Sunan Kudus continued to support this tradition, but filled it with Islamic values. He directed the two not to be addressed to the gods, to Allah, and replaced the hopes for local shops with hopes for children, like the Prophet Yusuf or Mary, mother of the Prophet Isa. Sunan Kudus also made this event an opportunity for charity. Through these approaches, Sunan Kudus succeeded in spreading Islam peacefully among the Javanese people. Success was also supported by what he learned from his father and several other well-known scholars, such as Sunan Ampel, Kiaitlingzing, Kiagangangaring. Sunan Kudus, or Jagfar Shatak, returned to Java from Palestine with a great influence on the spread of Islam. In 1548 AD or 1956 Sunan Kudus founded a mosque in the Kudus area, which was initially named Al-Manar, however, inspired by the holy city of Al-Qudus or Beit al-Maqdis in Jerusalem. The name of the mosque was later changed to Masjid al-Aqsa. The name Qudus itself comes from Al-Qudus, which is used as a tribute to the holy city of Jerusalem. Before establishing this mosque, Sunan Kudus lived in Beit al-Maqdis to deepen his religious knowledge. While there, he helped overcome an epidemic that had struck the city through his tireless efforts. For this service, he was granted special authority by the Emir of Palestine, in the form of a territory immortalized in writing on a stone inscribed with ancient Arabic, which can still be seen above the mihrab of the Qudus Tower Mosque today. With this honor, Sunan Kudus then asked the Emir for permission to bring this authority to the island of Java. After receiving approval, he returned to Java and founded the Great Mosque of Qudus, which still stands in the town square of Qudus. Central Java. Translated with deepl.com free version. However, Sunan Kudus' role in Java was limited to the field of religion. Javanese chronicles and Malay tales. Name Sunan Kudus first appeared during the Jihad War between the Islamic Kingdom of Demak and the Hindu Kingdom of Japa hit around 1524 to 1526 at Dot in that battle. Sunan Kudus accompanied his father, the fourth Imam of the Demak Mosque, to lead his troops against Majapahit. Fortunately, his father died in the battle, and the position of Imam of the mosque was then passed on to him. According to the story of Hasanuddin, Sunan Kudus then became the fifth Imam of the Demak Mosque. In 1526 to 1527, Sultan Terengganu of Demak assigned Sunan Kudus to lead an attack against Majapahit, which brought victory to the Demak kingdom. After the victory, Sunan Kudus returned to focus on his religious activities at the Demak Mosque and became increasingly active in spreading the teachings of Islam. As a cleric and commander of the Demak Sultanate, Sunan Kudus played a major role as a member of the Wali Songo. The name Sunan Kudus is deeply ingrained in the hearts of Muslims in the archipelago, especially in Java. Alongside the name Sunan Kalijaga, Sunan Kudus is known not only for his piety, but also for various stories of his chroma, miraculous powers, and supernatural abilities. One of these stories is his position as commander of the Demak Bintoro Sultanate. He demonstrated extraordinary prowess on the battlefield. Sunan Kalijaga, Sunan Kudus also preached with a local wisdom approach, touching the Javanese culture with full appreciation. His father, Sunan Mudding, who was a descendant of said fatal Ali Murtaza, Sultan from Palestine, died in battle against Majapahit. After his father's death, Sultan Terengganu ordered Sunan Kudus to lead an attack on Majapahit, and through his expertise in warfare, he succeeded in bringing victory to the Demak Sultanate. After the victory, he was entrusted with the mission of uniting the region with Demak and advising the king of Panging to abandon the teachings of Syekh Siti Jenar. Sunan Kudus' victory over Majapahit strengthened his position in Demak. The Sultan of Terengganu assigned him to expand the territory of Demak through Madura in the east and Cirebon in the west. In one legend, Sunan Kudus was given a vest, badong, which when struck could release thousands of rats that frightened the opposing army. After completing his task, Sunan Kudus decided to move to Kudus, which at that time was still known as Tayu. There, built a mosque which is now known as the Menara Kudus Mosque, which became the center for the spread of Islam in the city. Sunan Kudus' method of preaching was very similar to that of Sunan Kalijaga, mainly using the Tutwari Handayani method, which involved not resorting to violent resistance, providing guidance with gentleness. He did not harshly oppose the local culture. Instead, he slowly introduced Islamic teachings while respecting existing traditions. One example is when he taught the community to pray only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not to the spirits of their ancestors, which he conveyed in a wise manner so that it was accepted by the community. When Sunan Kudus went on the Hajj pilgrimage, there was an epidemic in Arabia. He managed to help alleviate the epidemic, and as a token of gratitude, the local government wanted to give him a gift. Sunan Kudus only asked for a stone from Baitul Maqdis in Jerusalem as a souvenir. Upon his arrival in Java, the city where he lived was named Kudus, inspired by the name of the holy city. The mosque he built is known as the Menara Kudus Mosque, the minaret that has become an icon of the city to this day. One of Sunan Kudus' unique traditions in welcoming the month of Ramadan is the Bedek and Dangan event. The Bedek is beaten repeatedly to invite the community to gather at the mosque. This tradition continues to this day as a form of respect for him, and also as an event of togetherness in welcoming the holy month. The death of Syekh Siti Jenar is indeed shrouded in mystery, with various versions of the story developing over time. Syekh Siti Jenar was known as a figure who dared to convey spiritual teachings about Mananggaling Kaulagusti, which is the unity between humans and God. These teachings were considered controversial at the time. The Council of Wali Songo, including Sunan Kudus, considered them to be contrary to Islamic teachings that were more widely accepted by the community. One version states that Syekh Siti Jenar was punished by Sunan Kudus with a Kris Kaki Kantanaga, given by Sunan Gunung Jati, translated with deepl.com free version. The death of Syekh Siti Jenar is indeed shrouded in mystery. with various versions of the story developing over time. Syekh Siti Jenar was known as a figure who boldly conveyed spiritual teachings about Maninggaling Kaulugusti, which is the union between humans and God. These teachings were considered controversial at the time, so the Council of Wali Songo, including Sunan Kudus, considered them to be contrary to Islamic teachings that were more widely accepted by society. One version states that Syekh Siti Jenar was sentenced by Sunan Kudus to be stabbed with a kris given to him by Sunan Gunning Jati. It is said that when Sunan Kudus stabbed him, there was a loud explosion and Syekh Siti Jenar's body turned into a fragrant jasmine flower. This version describes Syekh Siti Jenar's death as a miraculous event, the fragrant aroma replacing his corpse. Another version states that Syekh Siti Jenar's execution was carried out at the Agam Siraban Mosque in front of a large crowd as punishment for his teachings. Some also claim that the execution was carried out on the orders of Sultan Demak Raden Fata with the approval the Wali Songo Council and led by Sunan Bonang with Sunan Kali Yaga as the executioner who carried out the punishment. Meanwhile, the Demak Chronicle, Syekh Siti Jenar is said to have died after being stabbed by Sunan Giri. There are also those who say that he met his end of his own accord. Another version of the Tana Joy Chronicle said that after his death, the spirit of Syekh Siti Jenar flew to heaven. His body returned to the mosque, which astonished the Wali. In the Walk and Sunan Gunning Jati. Stanza 39 mentions that after his death, Syekh Siti Jenar's body was washed by several Sunan, including Sunan Kali Yaga, Sunan Bonang, Sunan Kudus, and Sunan Giri, before being buried in Graksan, now known as Pasarian Kalmatan. Another story mentions that Syekh Siti Jenar's body turned into a dog. The story may have originated from legends, myths to illustrate the conflict between his teachings and the views the Wali Songo. Each of these stories adds its own color to the history and legend of Syekh Siti Jenar. It shows how this figure has become a symbol of spiritual ideas and interpretations that provoke various perceptions in society. Translated with DeepL.com free version.